Welcome back to High Predictions, where we predict the highest outcome while getting fried. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Helps my channel out, it helps the video out. Let's get these bags. Quick recap on last 2 weeks. I know I didn't post a video last week, but man, did I come up. Let's start it off with UFC 268. So we're gonna start with this first one I hit, 6-legger. We had Mel Sick, winning. Ian Gary, which was scary because he wasn't throwing anything. Justin Gaethje, money line. That was a good fight. Fight of the night. It really should have been a KO, but we'll take it. Shane Burgos, fight to start round 3 with the Rose and Zweili. Good fight too right there. Good thing I didn't go on the line right here. And then we got Kamaru Usman, money line. So, quick little come up right there. Now time for the big parlay that I hit. I hit for $11,000. Yes, $11,000. Now this was the biggest parlay I ever hit. This was the biggest parlay I ever wagered on a parlay. As you can see right here, it's $750. I wouldn't recommend no one to do that. Unless you're a gambler and you have balls and you're like, fuck it, why not? But, yeah, man, let's get into this parlay, man. Ian Gary, money line. Dustin Jacoby, money line. Bobby Green, money line. He surprised me with a first round KO. Marlon Vieira, man, this was the fight that had me on my toes, man. He was really losing that fight, getting taken down by Frankie Edgar and getting controlled. He was coming back at the end, but honestly, I think if it would have went to decision, they probably would have gave it to Frankie Edgar. So he did get that late TKO for me, and yeah, man, I needed it. And then Rose Namajunas. Now I know in my last video I did say Zweili. I did have Zweili in some of my other parlays. I told you guys, it's a pick 'em fight. Jump both sides. I honestly did like the rounds 3 to start prop, as you seen in my last parlay. But yeah, at the end, I talked to one of my friends, and he persuaded me to go with Rose Namajunas, and shout out to my boy Miguel with that lock. I did have Zweili. It was a close fight. Honestly, starting that 5th round, Zweili as a live bet was -160, so she was winning the fight until Rose got that late takedown and pretty much controlled her for the end of the fight. And then the next fight was the Imamov fight against Edmund Shabazian. I really liked him right there in that spot. I knew Edmund cannot strike with him, and yeah, man, you seen him, man. He's a real deal. But yeah, man, 11,000, man. Craziest, biggest parlay ever. I'm hungry more than ever now. But obviously with the wins, you come. So let's get into those. Another one that I should have won another 500. Mark DeCasey, he let me down. I was really high on him too. He was in a lot of my parlays as well. I thought he was a lock. But he's the only one I got wrong there. I took Courtney Casey, Sean Watson on this one. Then I took Miguel Bays on this one, so yeah, I lost that. Felicia Spencer. Then I had Max Holloway round 4 or 5 right decision. Yeah. So I was down on the, on the cards. I did a little desperate bet right here. $100 bet. Would have got my money back with the 500 right here. Took Felicia Spencer money line. Ben Rothwell again. He couldn't even last 2 minutes. I knew I should never bet on a 40-year-old. He lost. Then I did a special prop bet. Max Holloway has 200 significant strikes. Plus 160. He hits that. Ben Rothwell fucks me up. But it is what it is, man. You gotta take your losses, man. So, but enough with the recap of the past 2 weeks, man. Let's get right to UFC Fight Night. Tate versus Vieira. Decent fight card. Let's start with the first fight of the night. So for the first fight, we got Adrian Yanez versus Davy Grant. Adrian Yanez is going to be the younger fighter right here by 8 years. 1 inch shorter, but with a 1 inch reach. So, you know, pretty close in height. I like Adrian Yanez here. Like I said, he is the younger fighter. He is the better boxer. Yes, Davey Grant has been looking, you know, good recently since the Marlon Vieira fight. You know, going on a 3-win streak before that, winning against Jonathan Martinez by KO, Martin Day. He's been looking good. But I like Adrian Yanez here. I think he's going to be the sharper fighter here. You know, he has good takedown defense. I think he stuffs Davey Grant's takedowns here and keep it up. And I think if he keep it up, you know, he has the better hands and probably gets a KO on Davey Grant. I'd say third round. Moving on, we got Talia Santos versus Joanne Wood. Joanne Wood is going to be the older fighter here by 7 years. Same height, and she is going to have a shorter reach, almost by 3 inches, 2.5. Yeah, Joanna, you know, she's the big underdog here. She is the, you know, the veteran that's been, you know, in the game longer, going against, you know, the contender here, you know, prospect, and Talia Santos. Talia Santos, you know, her last fight against Roxanne. I did have Talia Santos in that fight. I thought she should have finished that fight, but she got the win. So. Then beats Jillian Robertson by decision. Molly McCain. So she's been looking good for the past 3 fights. Joanne, you know, her last fight losing to Lauren Murphy, then beating Jessica I, then losing to Jennifer Maya. So, you know, she went against Andrea Lee. So she loses one, she loses one, she wins one. You know, she's not really consistent. Talia Santos is 18-1. I think she's a better fighter here. I think she wins. You know, I think she wins by decision. Should be a dominating fight, I think. Moving on, we got Rani Yahya versus Kyung Hong Kang. Rani Yahya is going to be the older fighter here by 2 years. He's going to be the shorter guy by 3 inches, and he is going to have a 5-inch reach disadvantage. So, Rani Yahya here is going to be the shorter fighter here compared to, you know, Hong Kong. But I do like Rani Yahya here. I do like his jiu-jitsu. I think he can take him down, control him in the later rounds of the fight, maybe get a submission. But if Mr. Perfect here comes, stuff his takedowns, you know, keep it up on his feet, you can't piece him up, and might, you know, get a split decision. You know, he has been winning his last, you know, recent fights, you know, dogging it out. Beating Ping Yang, decision split, Brandon Davis, decision split, then winning against Teresa by submission, losing to Ricardo Ramos. So, you know, a lot of them have been going to decision recently, and again, they're split, so it's been a close fight. I like Rani Yahya here in this spot. His last recent fight, beating Rodriguez by arm triangle, then doing a draw against Enrique. Does lose to Ricky Simone, but then beats Luke Sanders, submission heel hook. So, you know, if he takes it to the ground, you know, I think it's a wrap. You know, so I like Rani Yahya here in this spot. I'm gonna be taking him on my parlays in some of them, but I kind of like maybe the decision prop maybe. So yeah, I like Rani Yahya here. Moving on, we got Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady. Another good fight. Michael Chiesa obviously here is, you know, going to be the veteran, the OG. He is 17-5. He is going to be the older fighter here by 5 years. The taller fighter by 2 inches, and he is going to have a 3-inch reach advantage. So he is a bigger guy here. He's going against Sean Brady here, the newcomer, the up-and-comer. He is 14-0, undefeated. The younger fighter, but like I said, he is going to be the shorter fighter. His last win against Jake Matthews by arm triangle. Another one against Christian Aguilera by guillotine choke. Ismail Nurdiev by decision. So against Courtney McGee by decision. So he's on a streak now. Obviously, he's 14-0. But Michael Chiesa has been going against top level guys. His last loss against Vicente Luque. I mean, you see where Vicente Luque is at right now, right? He's already up for the next title shot, and one more win away. He beats Neil Magny, beats Rafael Dos Anjos, beats Diego Sanchez, so goes against Carlos Condit. So you see the level of competition he's going against. I like Michael Chiesa in this fight. I'm gonna go with the underdog here. I think Michael Chiesa beats Sean Brady, gives him his first L. But if Sean Brady can keep it up, stuff his takedowns, Sean Brady does have the advantage in the hands. But I'm gonna go with the OG here, Michael Chiesa. Moving on, we go into the main event: Ketlen Vieira versus Miesha Tate. Ketlen Vieira is going to be the younger fighter here by 5 years. She's going to be the bigger fighter by 2 inches, and she is going to have a 2-inch reach advantage. Or 2 inches? No, 1 inch and a half. But she is going against the OG here. She's going against Miesha Tate, 19-7. Her last win, winning against Marion. Good fight. I had Miesha Tate in that fight as well. And yeah, she's been looking. She looked good in that fight. Since her 4-year layoff. So, but she's going against a hungry, up and comer, Ketlen Vieira. Her last fight, she lost to Yana by decision. Beats Eubanks. Loses to Irene. Beats Kat. So, but yeah, man. I mean, in all those fights, she's looked good. She's a big girl for her division. I think maybe if she could take down Miesha Tate, and just wear on her, and maybe get a ground and pound stoppage, then she could win it. But this is a 5-round fight, and she has never done a 5-round fight. Miesha Tate has done plenty of 5-round fights. So for that, I'm gonna have to go with Miesha Tate here. She is the underdog now. I think it plays out. Ketlen Vieira's, winning the first 2 rounds, and then in the later rounds, Miesha Tate takes over, probably wins a decision. So I'm gonna go with Miesha Tate here. And yeah, man. And that's gonna wrap it up for my UFC picks for this card. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Man, I'll see you guys next week, man. Good luck.